Hey everyone, welcome back to another US30 video where we talk about my entries, exits, my profit targets, and pretty much my game plan for this upcoming week. Now, as we can see here on US30, the price action has been insane. I mean, some of it has been really smooth, some of it is just untradeable. So pretty much this was a game plan from last week, and you can see that even though it consolidated, we did get a couple of bounces like I talked about before, but mostly the sales won for last week. So let's go ahead and remove all drawings, and then let's start on the weekly time frame, and then let's just get this so that way we could see this very clearly. All right, cool. All right, so this is what the weekly looks like for US30. So a couple of things that I noticed just kind of off the bat is basically we have a nice strong resistance. We did close the week with this really strong bearish candle, a huge sell-off, and this makes me think that this is in preparation for the FOMC meeting that is scheduled to happen around the September 17th, September 18th time frame. It's a two-day event, is where the Feds basically come up with the interest rates, and obviously everybody's on the edge of their seat trying to figure out, are rates going to get cut or are we going to stay the same? So let's go ahead and mark off some levels so that way we could get a semblance of what may happen this week. So the first thing I'm marking off is a level right here at 41,546. And this is going to be a really thin level because we are on a weekly time frame and we don't want really big zones. Wow, the sun is finally coming out. Anyway, so I'm going to copy this level, and then I'm going to actually draw another level down here at 39,362, and I want to mark off this level because it is a really nice support. And I also want to mark off this level right here at the very bottom where this wick was at 38,399, mainly because if price came to that point and totally rejected, then that means that that is an area of significance. So I want to be sure to have that marked off on my chart. We can see that price lined up with these four wicks pretty much perfectly. So it's more confirmation for me. But anyway, but for right now, I see I do want to mark off one more level. So copy this, and I want to mark off this level at, do it like right here at 40,689. We're going to drag this over a little bit because we're going to refine these levels when we get down to lower time frames. All right, cool. So now let's go down to the daily time frame and see if we can make more sense of this. Just get this adjusted. Okay, cool. So I really like this level right here. I do like this level right here. We do see price popping up above this level. So maybe this is something that I want to adjust. So let me just play around with it and just see. Okay, yeah, I do like this. Okay, so I like this level at 40,889 roughly. And then what I probably want to do is create another level in not the exact same spot, but kind of in the zone, mainly because I'm seeing some things line up. I'm seeing this resistance here, I'm seeing a support here, and then these are just clean candles basically just moving around. So I do see that. We may adjust it, but for right now it's looking really good. And this is still looking good. Let me scoot over so I could see. Okay, yeah, this is okay. This is looking good. So one thing I do want to do is I want to actually make a copy of this, and I want to put a level right here at 37,700 roughly, mainly because we have a nice support. We have a ton of rejections here, and then this really big rejection. Price came back to this level and rejected it again. So this lets me know that this is kind of a strong level. And another thing I'm seeing is something right here. This is a nice support here at 38,000, roughly 70. So let me put just a smaller box right here because I do want to pay attention to this. I want to see how things look on a lower time frame, but we're just marking it off for right now. All right, cool. So let's go to H4. All right, great. All right, so if we, let's see, let me go like this. Okay, so if we take a look at this on just basically looking at the bigger picture, I'm just trying to make sure that the things that I've marked actually make sense. So this is going to get pushed up just a little bit, and let me zoom it in just so you can see it. Okay, so wanted to move this in right here so that way it touched perfectly on the top. So this is at 41,575 roughly. This level is looking a little crazy because we do have price kind of going in and out. And then if I look left, we kind of have the same thing here. And then we do have price where it came down and broke up. So let me see what looks good. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit and just see what I like. Okay, I think I like this. Oops, I moved it too much. I like this level right here at 40,771, mainly because we do have a nice support here. Price came here and it did reject a bunch of times. And then it came up, came down. So a lot of drama around here, but basically it looks really clean. And right here, it also rejected multiple times, broke down, came back up. So I want to keep that level. I may draw some other levels on lower time frames, but for right now, this is looking good. All right, so if we move this over, and then just kind of like what I like to do is I like to see how it lines up with things over to the left. So, and then I also like to make sure that it has nice round numbers if possible. It's not 100%, but right now this is looking good at 40,770, a really nice number. And then we also see the resistance levels right here. So that is looking good. Okay, amazing. And if we go down to this level that we drew, this is still looking pretty crazy. So I do want to move this down to here. I just want to see how it looks. And then I'm also looking left just to see how it lines up. So I'm actually going to drag this out a little bit. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, great. So what I've done is I've just adjusted this level. Now we're at, to get right in the center, we're about 39,250. Nice number. And then if we go down, this is still tapping into this perfectly. Let's scoot over. Let's move in and scoot over. Okay, so now we see support, 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 and price is rejecting this level at 38,300 and roughly 75-ish. And I still want to keep it. And then we also drew this minor or this little support right here around 38,009,077. And I actually want to move it down just a little bit. Actually, it's a little hard to see. So let's move in a little bit. All right, so this I just want to move it around. I'm just trying to find the average. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but this is a really good level because price came into the zone and it rejected multiple times. It formed supports but it just continued to push up. So I don't know what was happening here fundamentally, but this was a really interesting zone that price kept bouncing from. All right, so let's go over here. We still have perfect rejections in here. Let me see if I make this a little slimmer. All right, cool. And then let's move it down. Okay, amazing. Okay, so, and then what are we at? 37, 682, 85. Okay, great. So let me just make sure I got all of my levels. Okay, great. And then this is just zooming it out. I just like to see it, see the big picture. All right, cool. So now let's go to H2. Shouldn't be that much to do because we did all the hard work already. So this is basically just double checking our work. So, okay, so this is looking good. Just scooting over and just looking at the levels, all the levels. Okay, so let me see if I move. Okay, so I'm seeing this resistance and this support. So trying to see how it may look if I move this up and then look here. Okay, nah. Oh, it's actually okay. Okay, so the thing that I did is I just moved this level just a little bit. Now we're at 40,000, roughly 500, mainly just based on some stuff that I saw over to the left. It looks good now. So this is still pretty messy, but I do like the way we have these rejections right here at 39,250 roughly. So that still looks good. We zoom out a bit. Now that we have a lower time frame, we have more data. So there we go. Amazing. Okay, cool. So let's go down to H1 and just move all the way over. There's so much information here. All right, great. All right, so I'm literally just looking just to see if there's anything that I could adjust. Right now it's looking fine. This area right here is a bit of a mess, but I do want to keep this level right here because we have a nice support here. And we also, yeah, this has supports inside of this mess. So just going to leave that. And let me see. This looks good. Oh, this looks really good now. Down here. All right. Zoom out because I think I missed a level. Okay, yeah, over here. I want to look at this. Okay, great. Okay, that still looks decent. This is a mess, but we're making sense of it. That's that's why we do this every single week, just to make sense of it and see where we could take potentially profitable moves. All right, so I'm just moving this in. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, great. So far, do I want to move this down? I think I want to move this down. Yeah, just a little bit. So now we're at 38,030 roughly. So still looks good. And I think there's one more level. Yes, right here. Okay, looks good. Looks good for the most part. Let's see if we can do better. See if we can move this here. All right, great. So now on this level, we are at 37,640. Nice. Mainly because I saw all these rejections here. Now that we got more data on this lower time frame, it just makes sense. Here we got a support. Here we got break and all of that. So that's not all that important. But for right now, this is looking really, really good. So let me move this back in and then let's start our analysis, our game plan for this upcoming week. If you're tired of losing trade after trade, even if you're watching 100 YouTube videos and it's still not clicking for you, then you need to check out the Profitable Traders Academy because my goal is to help you become a confident trader and get on the path to making at least $1,000 per month in trading. You've seen my videos. I've made way more than that generally every single month, and I want you to be able to have that as well. So that's why I created this for an insanely affordable amount per month, especially if you live in the United States. You probably got Netflix, Hulu, all these things that are not contributing to you being profitable inside of the market. So you can keep those things and add this to that as well. And you could be able to ask me questions. So not just getting information. We got information all over the place, but you don't have the ability to ask people questions about how they take trades, why they take trades, why they get into the trades, or having anybody look at your analysis and see if there's something that you should correct before you potentially jump into the market. You'll get all of that inside of the Profitable Traders Academy. So go ahead, go to the website, and I will see you there. All right, so now we're going to come up with our game plan for the upcoming week if the market goes up, if the market goes down. So if you're still with me, then go ahead and type in the comment section that you're with me to let me know that you're still here, because most people, they watch a portion of it and they click off and they don't get the value, and then they try to figure out why they're still stuck. But you're not like that. So I want you to comment in the section below and let me know. All right, so here is what I'm looking at for this upcoming week. So we have this major level right here, and then we have this resistance level right here, and then we also have this resistance level right here, and then we also have another resistance level. I don't know why it's not copying, but anyway, we have another resistance level right here. So basically the way that I trade is I like to be precise, and I also like to be cautious when I trade. So I don't just enter at any given time. So when I'm looking at these levels, let me measure them just to make sure that I complete my thought. Okay, got it. Okay, 123 points is fine. Okay, but anyway, but one thing that I'll be looking for is basically buys above this line. Now let me zoom out again just to make sure that my bias is correct. Okay, actually, I will be looking for buys above this line for the most part. All right, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so essentially what I'll be looking for first would be buys above here. So right there. And then also continued buys to this level right here. So you can see that these are decent levels. And then buys to up here. Now this to me will be risky unless price goes up above here, and then it would go to potentially up here. So, and that's 471 points, which is amazing on US30. So, okay, so anyway, just want to line those up. So essentially, that's my game plan for buys. And then in here, it's a little bit tricky, which is why I had to look to the left just to kind of see what price was doing. All right, so let me go back because I kind of forgot. All right, cool. So one of the things that I'm looking at is I'm looking at price kind of coming into the zone and potentially bouncing again because it did this right here as well. So I have two ideas on this. So the first idea would be a short term sell down to here. And then I would also look for a potential bounce in here. Now it just kind of depends on what's happening inside of the market. So let me do that. Bounce up here. So above here, for the most part, I'll be looking for buys. And I'll be looking for buys above here as well. All right, cool. So based on this price action, though, I'm more on the selling side with US30. And that's mainly because there's some economic events that are coming up, and there's a lot of uncertainty around the federal government cutting the rates or maybe keeping the rates the same. So I'm more bearish, mainly because, and then too, September has historically been a really bad month. So those are kind of the things that are kind of dancing inside of my head right now. But we want to do the upside and the downside because there may be opportunity for pops in the market like we've seen here. This was a nice jump up, then it went down, and then it did come up, down. So there are opportunities for sure, but I like to just kind of have my overall bias and kind of stick with that for as long as it makes sense. All right, so below this level right here, 40,518, if I look to the left, there's something that is concerning to me, which is this level right here, mainly because price came to here and bounced off and it continued to move up. And as you can see, we're actually on the other side of that. So price went up, now price is going down. So this could be, for me, this would be more of a selling level for me, below this level of 40,443, 40. All right, and then the next level that I see, if I draw this out, I see this level right here at 40,000, almost 40,000 flat is this right here. So we go from this level to here. That would be a great area. And then just kind of like looking left and just seeing what the obstacles are and just being cautious around those levels. But right here, I see one more. This one's a little tricky, but we'll pick that right there. 39,726. You can say 25 if you want a better number, like a rounder number. And then right here, if we go here, wow, that's a really big range. And then, of course, all the way down here. So I'm not going to draw 100 lines, but basically you get the idea, especially because what I have right here is I'm looking more so for buys above here and above here, but then more so sells below here. And of course, price can continue to sell off. It may have a really deep retracement and pullback and give you the opportunity for a buy. You know how this market is, but that's why I wanted to give you my overall analysis of this particular market. So if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.